Welcome to J.R. Perry's Love Drop Hour, a highly sensual, warm drop of lovely music with magical drippings for your ears, baby. So come on, take a ride, let's glide, let's melt inside the sweet flavors as we relax and release in the Love Drop Hour. You've entered the Love Drop Hour, baby. We're gonna play some real beautiful music for you. We got the OJs, Tina Marie, Marvin Gaye, Aretha Franklin, Stylistics. So sit back, baby, and relax in the Love Drop Hour. Yeah, don't let nothing drip on you now. Love drops.
Silver flute that I really love. So a lot of people were surprised. They said, all this time you've been playing on an intermediate flute? I said, yes. But, you know, if you wait for everything to be perfect, you will never move. You know, you will never have children. You will never, just everything. You just have to use, and that's how I feel, use what you have and perfect using what you have and then work on getting something better.
That's
and
right.
so here I am, back in the music for 15 years now as an independent artist.
Okay, that's great, you know, and I love the fact that you handle all these different instruments as well as sing, and I like that. And you said you're in Texas, but you were from Louisiana. What part of Louisiana?
Well, it's a small town called Bazille, Louisiana, and if you're familiar with Interstate 10 that runs through Lake Charles and then Lafayette and Baton Rouge, I was in between Lafayette and Baton Rouge in a small town, and that's where I grew up.
All right. Well, you know, you got some really good music, and I want to be able to play it all. We're going to go down your list here, and I want everybody to just sit back and check it out. We got this one song I want to play, and I want to get your feedback on how you got this song up off the ground, and this song is called Sweet Dreams. How did that start? How did you do this one?
Well, before I came back to music, there was a guy that said, hey, why don't you come and play with us? And it didn't work out. And that's when I realized that I really have to take the bull, you know, by the horn myself, you know what I mean, and just do it myself. And I said, okay, let me try this song. So I wrote the song, and I love how one of the fans described it as an adult lullaby.
Okay.
And when I recorded it, and this one is off my first album, because this was the second time I was in a studio trying to record it, because the first one was a disaster. That's a long story. And in the second studio, now mind you, I have no experience in the studio. I'm really trying to figure this out. And I remember telling the guy that I needed to have more control over the songs because it's not working. This is not my sound coming out on the other end. So I made a suggestion to him to put two mics on my soprano, and I turned to the musicians and I was telling them, I said, I do not want a drum beat on 2 and 4. It's not funky. It's smooth. It's healing, and etc. And trying to get that across. And when Jimmy Sticks on the drums, I just met him, and he did a wonderful job in the crescendos and the cymbal rolls and power on walls on keys. You know, as the song progressed to, you know, change the dynamics of it and the rhythm of it so it could build and be something emotional and feeling. So I'm really grateful for that one because I finally actually, and I wish I'd done that to the entire album, but I finally said, let me just take charge and say, hey, this is what we need to do, this is what we need to do, and everything started to fall in. And so that's where big dreams come from, something to relax you, to calm you.
That's right. And I'm going to play that one, and I'm going to play another one behind it, and it's called AC/DC. And what's that about? I knew the band AC/DC. What's this song about?
Well, it has nothing to do with the rock band AC/DC, but I heard AC/DC is actually a Billy Cobham original.
Oh.
I covered it.
Okay.
I heard it about 14 years ago, and I thought it was so much fun. I thought the chromatic hook was amazing, and I introduced it to my band at the time. I said, we ought to do this. But when I tried to transcribe it, because it's fusion, jazz fusion, and I said, the keyboard player is all over the place. I said, okay, this is how I'm going to arrange it, and then you take it to another level, what you want to do. And we started performing it at my shows, and it went over very well. And then I said, you know what, so when I did my next CD, Many Colors, I decided to cover that on that album. And what was amazing, I was trying to get the mechanical license for it, but I couldn't find the other 50%. I went on his website and sent him an email, and he responded, and his lawyer responded, so I could get, the permission. You got to do everything right.
Right, got to get that clearance. Cool. That's right.
Yeah. And I was so happy. I said, I actually heard back from Billy Cobham.
That's great.
Yeah, so that's where that particular song comes from.
Well, look here, we're going to go, without any further ado, we're going to spin those two, so just kick back, everybody. We get ready to put it down. down here. I'm loving this. Are you still with me?
Yes, I'm here.
Man, look, I'm loving that. I like that AC/DC joint. That's funky. You got flute going. You got sax happening in that. And, of course, Dreams is beautiful as well. Wow. What did it take to put all that into you? Okay.
The AC/DC?
Yeah.
I actually went into a recording studio to record that one. And all the tracks, it's from my Many Colors CD.
Okay.
And I mean, sometimes when you see the finished product, the backstory can be very busy, because when I showed up with all the musicians, because you have to do a lot of planning, the artist signed contracts going into the studio, and the engineer was 2 hours late.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I was like, okay, let's see if we can do, because one of them had to leave. It was just such a challenge. So we laid AC/DC down in the other songs, and what happened was he forgot to press record.
Oh.
And one of them, it was such a disaster. So we went back to the studio and tried to get it all done again. And finally, I just said, hey, just send me all the stems, because I was going to send it to someone else to mix and master it. And but a lot of times when you hear, especially indie artists, where all the funding is coming from you, all the planning, everything, that's why I'm very, I guess, understanding for people who do it themselves, because it can be very challenging. But what happened, and my husband tells me, he said, but when you went through all that, the challenges, because the last challenge in that was when I got all the stems for each track. It was an MP3 format. It was supposed to be WAV, and that's a long story. And I went to the music store and said, can you, I would like to buy music recording. And somebody said, well, start with this. It's simple. It's by Flutist. Start with that. And from that point, I just kept growing and learning. And so I did my Christmas EP.
Okay.
I produced it here in my home studio.
Wow.
And the last album, Hidden Treasures, I did most of it here in my studio. There's a saying we have back home, is that I can do bad all by myself.
That's right.
And I just didn't want to spend thousands of dollars and not getting the results that you're supposed to get.
Right.
So you're a musician. I'm not a billionaire. I'm not a millionaire. So I have to figure out ways to still do what I love to do and cut costs. And one of the ways was to spend days, months, years learning everything from music recording to video editing, photo editing, marketing, and do that. I'm a full-time musician.
I love
and
that.
It's all a challenge. And yes, I would love it if I were in a position where I didn't have to do any of it. All I had to do was practice music. But, I don't complain, because I'm telling you, JR, when you start learning stuff, you feel so empowered.
That's right.
You really do. So those challenges, I think in a way brought out the best in me. And now I don't have to wait on anybody. If I said, hey, I want to get something out now, I can sit here and write it myself. So, and when you network with musicians across the country who are good at, whether it's a guitar player or what have you, I learn how to just send the track and say, lay some guitar right here for me, and we barter and help. You build a circle of people where you can barter and help each other get projects out. Right now, I think my biggest challenge is, let me put it this way. When I started trying to figure out how to create my own lane, what works for Joyce Spencer. So now, yes, I have original music, but I'm also a cover girl. That's what I call it. Not makeup, but I cover other people's music. So I get engagements at corporate events and nice private events as well. Because I said, what, can you do some R&B and, funk and even church events? Because I play gospel music as well. So this is the lane that I'm creating for myself. And as I keep creating and keep marketing, I've had the pleasure of playing with people like Yarbrough and Peoples, and playing with Gail Johnson, Jazz and Peak, and other people. So I'm about to play with Tom Braxton for a fundraiser in a couple of weeks. So and people, and I love that when, like a concert promoter out of Oklahoma, he said, I've been watching you for 2 years, and I think you'd be great at my music festival.
Great.
So doing stuff like that is my way of getting out there when I don't have management, when I don't have a record label. So I'm doing my best. I could quit and give up or say, this is too hard. But when you know you're called to do something, when you know you are in your element, what you're called to do, you know, the storm can come and you're still going to hang in there and keep putting music out there. So that's where I am right now, and I'm real happy with the things that I've learned, and just meeting people like you, J.R. Perry. You know, if I didn't market myself, you wouldn't notice me, you wouldn't know who I am, and you wouldn't know anything about my music. So I do the best that I can with what I have. Instead of complaining, well, you know, I don't have this, I don't have that. I don't complain. I sit here at my desk in my studio and figure out what can I do to make it better. Because everything I tried does not work. And when I was being interviewed for a magazine article years ago, and I told the lady, I said, over 90% or maybe 95% of what I do gets rejected. You know, she said, well, how do you handle that? That's a lot. I said, yes, but when you love what you do and you know you're doing what you're supposed to do, you accept it as an occupational hazard.
That's right. That's right. I love that.
You just accept it. You go, okay, I'm rejected. Okay, what's next? And how can I be creative? And these days, I mean, every day I'm reading about new tools, and a lot of those tools are free, or they don't cost a lot, because I, as an independent artist, could not afford to pay radio promoters up to $10,000 for each song. I was like, okay, that, you know, how did Taraji say it? The math's not mathing.
Right.
Because if I was going to spend, let's say, thousands of dollars for one track to be professionally recorded from beginning to end, and I can only sell it for 99 cents, but I have to pay someone $5,000, $10,000 to promote it. How does that work for me? You know, if I walk in a restaurant and I'm paying for a meal, I want to eat.
Right.
You know, I don't want to give you the money and then walk out hungry. And that's what I felt like. So that's what I meant earlier when I said I'm constantly trying to create my own lane, and unfortunately, I'm meeting people that are doing that, and I'm grateful because when I received an email from Enthroned Records or Enthroned Entertainment, same company, and that I was selected, that I got a Hall of Fame, and I was like, can I call you? Wait.
Someone had called you up and put you in the Hall of Fame, is what you're saying?
Yes. I was like, wow. He said, yes, sure, call me. He said, well, you don't know. Again, I've been watching you. I'm watching your dedication to music and how you have been, just devoted and just stayed in there, staying consistent and what have you. So when I was at the ceremony where we celebrated the Hall of Fame, myself and others who were inductees, one thing that I remember saying is that I'm just so happy somebody noticed. And the audience clapped, like, yes, when you are out there working and you're not, you're not Beyonce, you're not Taylor Swift, but you're out there working and you are providing music for several events. And because, I mean, think about it. We can't all be Beyonce. That doesn't work.
Right.
But what I do, as far as I'm concerned, is just as fruitful because it's where I'm supposed to be.
Absolutely. You know, basically, you're in your lane, sis, and that's how I found you. You know what I'm saying? And I think it was about maybe 6-7 years ago, maybe even longer than that. And I was like, who is this? You know, and I would listen to your music, and you know, and I was like, she is good, you know. And I happened to see you on one of those platforms, and I like, hey, and I think that was a month or so ago. I said, yeah, I really like to, you know, bring you on my show, you know, because what I do, I try to give independent artists like yourself, as well as A-list artists, a platform, you know, because we are in 205 countries. We are definitely dedicated here in Las Vegas to help what you would call great talent like yourself. And and I was very impressed. And then you have a very positive demeanor about yourself, you know, and I like that. And I love the fact that you're humble. You see what I'm saying? And that right there is really one of the reasons why I wanted to get you on. And tell people where they can contact you. Where can they book you? Because you need to be booked, you know, in Texas, Vegas, all over.
All over.
Yeah, give some contact, because I have booking agents as well as program directors tune into my show, and give them your information, my sister.
Sure. You can find everything you need to know about me at JoyceSpencerMusic.com. My EPK is there as well. If you would like a one-page EPK, you can find it there. Or if you forget, just Google Joyce Spencer, and my website will come up at the top. And everything you need to know. I have videos where you can see prior shows. My events are there as well. I even have a page that gives you some information about my Sade tribute show that I created, that I'm about to do again. So, yes, I have a contact page there as well, and just contact us. My husband is my manager. His name is Ladarian. He's very friendly, and he would love to talk to you about getting me booked at your venue. So, but I'm very versatile, because not only do I have a band here locally, I also play as a solo act with tracks, which when I started this years ago, there were some people frowned on it, but that has got me through some doors that amazing, you know, even at festivals, opening for this. I played at a VIP luncheon where Kirk Whalum was the headliner, and there was a VIP. I just plugged in and entertained the guests as they were eating dinner. I played for dignitaries, locally, mayors in several cities, just by bringing my iPad and bringing the show. I remember how one gentleman, he said, "You had them doing electric slide." They were line dancing and the songs, and it was just me by myself. But then I also love to stay a full band experience. And when I travel, sometimes other cities, they have their house bands. And in many cities, I also have connections in those cities as well, where I can get a band together to do shows in other cities. So, in other words, just contact us, and we'll work with you in what's best for where you are right now, whether it's a music festival, a corporate event. I love corporate events, by the way. I've done several, and it's awesome. And if you want to know what type of music I cover, mostly R&B and funk, some pop, and some blues and classic rock.
Okay.
You know, I'm a fan of Marvin Gaye to Journey.
All right. Yeah. Right on.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yes, absolutely.
Exactly. So, and I do smooth jazz and some traditional jazz, but the bulk of the requests that I get is for more of an R&B smooth jazz thing. But when I do live shows, I try to pay attention that my playlist needs to be what pleases the audience. I'm here for the audience. I'm here to serve them musical food, if you will, so that when they leave, they will be fulfilled with an experience. So maybe my original song is not appropriate for that occasion, then I won't do it. I'm all about the audience. I remember one day years ago, because everybody in every city knows Mr. Magic, right? Mm-hmm. And I said, I really stopped doing that song because it's not cool. It's been done so much. And I was at forget the name of the venue. It's closed now. And I was performing, and the guy from the audience said, "I want to hear Mr. Magic." And I looked. He said, "Yes, I want to hear it." I said, "Okay, let's do it." And it was like I was convicted. That's the moment when I realized it's not about me. It's about the audience that I'm serving.
Absolutely.
So I said, if it takes me doing Mr. Magic every time and they love it, then that's what I'm going to give them.
That's right.
I'm here to give people an experience. And as you can see, I have all kinds of music. Yeah. And Sweet Dreams may not be appropriate for a particular event. Different artists feel differently about that. Hey, this is my music. I'm not doing any covers. This is it. But that's because that's their lane. But my lane is variety.
Yes, right.
As much as I can provide.
And I think, because music is for the people. And and you're sounding real right on point. Give the people what they want, how they want it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's who we are. That's what we do as musicians. But now I want to talk about this other song that I'm going to spin called "Cherish." Let's speak on that. I really like this one as well. When was this recorded?
This one was recorded. It was written in 2020 after my mom died of COVID.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
We couldn't visit her because she was in a rehab medical center and stuff. And they said, "Well, y'all can't come." I said, "Okay, cool." We would do FaceTime. And and it was to protect her, so I understood it. But when she got COVID from one of the nurses, I was like, oh my God. And her body was not in a condition to handle, and this was before they had vaccination. This was the worst kind of COVID in the beginning.
Yeah, in the early phase,
I didn't feel like writing anymore, and then I said, okay, let me come back and write this song, and I'm going to title it "Cherished," in memory of my mom, cherishing her memories. So this was a song for her. So when the gentleman named Jesse wanted to help me do a music video based on my story with my mom, I was like, "You want to do that for me? Really?" So there's some people in your corner, and he pulled it together for me, and we did the music video. It's on YouTube, and I also have a music video of Sweet Dreams as well. And my music videos tell a story. And these music videos are, I guess we can call them organic because they're not AI generated, but I'm not against it, trust me, because I want to do that as well. Like I said, I like variety. So if you want to check that out on YouTube, those two, Sweet Dreams did so well. I think there's over 89,000 views on the Sweet Dreams music video.
Beautiful. That's great. That's great. Mm-hmm. Joyce, you're doing it. So this is what we're going to do. We get ready to throw this song down, Cherish, here on 22.3 Takeover Vegas. Love Drops, J.R. Perry. Check it out.
Perry's Love Drops on 22.3 Takeover Vegas Radio. We have fabulous guests, exciting shows, and mind-blowing interviews. So keep it locked and enjoy your spot here on the Love Drops at 22.3 Takeover Vegas Radio. We'll see you there.
What's up, yo? 650 Cent.
What's up, y'all? This is Nicki Minaj.
What's up, y'all? This is J. Cole. The hottest radio station worldwide.
So hot.
22.3 Takeover Vegas Radio. Yes, we back. Yeah, we love that Cherish over here. That's a nice joint, sis. That's really good. I can feel you. I can feel you on that. You know what I'm saying? It's just really melodic, you know. You really blow that sax like, you know, you mean it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And and I'm loving this, you know what I'm saying? Because we don't find, you know, a lot of sisters, a lot of ladies blowing the sax, you know what I'm saying? I mean, they're there, but you stand out because you move around. Like I was saying earlier, you know, you play that flute and you blow that sax. And then, you know, you got that vocal. We're gonna do that too. We have a song that you have out called Voice, The Voice.
Your Voice.
Yeah, Your Voice. Yeah, tell me about Your Voice.
Well, Your Voice is what I call an inspirational song, and it's just one day. I wrote that one and another one, I See You, because I was in corporate America for about 15 years or so. And I was like, okay, I'm going to come out of corporate America and I'm going to go and spend more time working in church and music. And I found that to be even more challenging. So I actually wrote Your Voice just for me. And my communication and reaching out to God about what I needed at that time and where I was at that time.
That's great. That's great. Well, you know what? We getting ready to share that, okay? So sit back and relax.
Thank you.
It's this tender heart deep inside of me, so soft to your touch. I love you so much, and I'm running to your throne. I thought I lost my way, but as my
And that's very spiritual, you know what I'm saying? And I see what you were saying. I mean, then you went up in that modulating type of thing, and then your voice just kind of exploded. I didn't even know you had all that over there. But you're doing it, and I'm loving it. And let's get back to some of the things that you are looking forward to do before this year ends out. What do you look forward to do, my friend, by way of your music? What do you see in your lane that you want to do?
In my lane right now, I am now producing music that's more cinematic, and I'm about to send the first one, Sweet and Sour, to for mixing and mastering, and it's just something I wanted to do. Want something more cinematic with a timpani sound, with horns, and and then after that, I wrote a country song. So right now I'm in a space where I just want to write what I'm feeling at the time, and although I am working on smooth jazz, more flute, because I don't have a lot of flute lately, out there.
Okay.
So I'm writing a flute song now that I love. It's just, when I write the skeleton, then I start feeling it in, where it needs the strings or where it needs certain effects or what have you. So, and then I'm looking forward to, because right now I'm recharting all of the Sade songs. I'm looking forward to doing another Sade tribute show. And the venue where I had it last time, I sold out 2 shows with 250 seating. Sold out the first night, like 2 or 3 weeks before it happened, so we asked for the second night. That venue is closed, so I have to go back. I'm hoping to do it by the fall of this year, but I'm that type of person. If it's not ready, then we'll postpone it to the beginning of next year, because you know how it is after around Thanksgiving, things start to get busy.
Right.
People start calling, we need a band for this, we need this. So that's where I am right now, sitting here, charting it out, even transcribing some of the things, and just really analyzing the music. Because one thing about Sade's music, they said, it's simple, but in a sense it's hard, because the timing is everything where you play certain things. And I want the bass player to make sure that when we get to this section, that he changes his groove, so we can feel the tempo's not faster, it's just the rhythm is busier. So we need so transcribing all that and producing the show. I enjoyed producing it a couple of years ago. The first time was in Colorado Springs, and I thank him for his name is Michael. When I played at his venue in Colorado Springs, he said, "Could you do Sade?" I said, "Well, I covered a couple of our songs, and it went so well. 2 years later, I did those 2 shows here in Dallas, and now I even have a writer, just in case somebody calls for me to go out of town. That's how I'm serious I am about that. It just fits for me, and I was trying to look for a title. I think what it's going to be is Sade My Way. And what I mean by my way, because I'm an instrumentalist, so you will hear saxophone, you will hear flute. And if you want to get a snippet of how I do it, it's on my website, JoyceSpencerMusic.com. So that's what I'm looking forward to this year. And I'm looking forward to networking, doing more shows across the country and even in other countries as well. I feel like I'm ready for that right now. So.
Well, I think you are. I really do. And I want to go through another song that I have of yours, which is called Saxophonist. Is that how we pronounce that?
Yes, Saxophone.
Okay.
Instead of saxophone, it's saxophone.
Yeah, I love it. So let's spin that right quick on 22.3. Take over Vegas, baby. We'll be right back. That's good. Saxophone. That was funky too. Hey, look, I'm very impressed with your music, and I hope my listening audience is impressed as well. I want you to drop your information once again before I close this show, my sister.
Okay, you can find out everything you need to know about me at www.joycespencermusic.com.
That's what's up. So if they are interested in booking you, they can get you up there as well at that.
Yes, I have a contact page where you can fill out the contact form or call. There's a phone number there as well.
That's great.
Yes.
I love it.
If you love EPKs, there's a link there to take you to on my website.
You arrived just in time to J.R. Perry's Love Drops on 22.3 Takeover Vegas Radio. We have fabulous guests, exciting shows, and mind-blowing interviews. So keep it locked and enjoy your spot here on the Love Drops at 22.3 Takeover Vegas Radio. We'll see you there.